Hello, and welcome back to the farm. Wow, this is some really thick fog. Um, Today we are going to be doing two things. We are going to be paying off a significant amount of our debt, which I am just going to start the episode off with. So, let's go over to the finances section and repay. So we only have $25,000 worth of debt left. We just took care of $30,000 worth of debt right away, which is pretty awesome. But, and then, the other thing we will be doing today is we will be seeding our fields. So, I'm gonna be doing that with the, I'll be doing that with the New Holland. That'll be very gentle to the fields, I think. So, let's hook that up. Actually, first, I should position the truck with the trailer. It is a foggy one today. That is for certain. I would, well, it could be worse, I guess. I would not really like to be driving in this weather. But, you know, what can you do? Hook up the truck and the trailer. Alright, ramp. There we go. Alright. This is a bit testy to reverse. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we're hanging off the back a little bit, but it should be fine once we're tied down. So, let's fasten the tension belts, tip side, back. Oh, that is a problem. How about, how about, yeah, that is not good. Tip side ramp. I'm gonna back it back off, and we're gonna use the International, the Farmall 1206. Oh, I gotta take the tension belts off. That is unfortunate. It is just a lot of weight to hang off the back, but especially because it's loaded up. But what can you do? New Holland will get used another day. Alright, let's excuse me. Let's just back this up here. And we'll hook up the International. Farmall 1206. Alright, back her up. if we go to the fields? Alright, here we are at the fields. So I'm gonna plant up this little field first, and I'm gonna do that in real time, and then I'll do the big field as a time lapse. So let's lower the seeder, turn it on, and away we go. Actually, I'm just going to... There we go. Since we're not on the road. But yep. Away we go. This should be pretty quick, I think. Back her up. Yeah, it's, I'm glad we're finally getting back to this series. I've been playing other games for the most part for the past week or so, but obviously in the meantime I was playing this still, I was still progressing this, I just wasn't doing it on camera. But now we finally have something to do on our own farm again. I paid off a lot of our debt with that absolute boon of money we had. So this series is looking pretty good again. I'm gonna do one more headland. Yeah, this tractor is, it is more than enough for this seeder. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's almost the perfect size for this seeder, except for being maybe a little bit more horsepower than it needs. But size-wise, I would say it is perfect for this seeder. And most importantly, the weight isn't too much for it. Just make that turn there. But yeah, soon we're going to be done the headlands and we'll get to the up and downs. I just cannot believe. Well, actually, I can believe it because I've seen fog like this in this game before, but it's just so thick. Right now for the up and downs. And it's a bit cooler of a day today. Well, both in real life and in this game, the day is a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. But, yeah. Yeah, so, I just saw a video today of a Fendt tractor, a Fendt 1042, tilling fields in, I believe, Kentucky, with an Amazon Catros or Cataros tiller, or Disker, I think it is, a disc tiller. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, a little bit different from this. Only about a, 320 horsepower difference. Pretty significant. But, still a conventional tractor. The Fendt 1000 series, notably, is the biggest, conventional tractor, or the biggest, at least, biggest horsepower conventional tractor for sale. At least to my knowledge. Maybe there's a bigger one that I just don't know about. But the Fendt 1000s are huge. And Amazon is a big similarly German manufacturer of field equipment. In fact, this is an Amazon seeder that we have here. Yep. And it does the trick just fine. I'd say this seeder is the perfect size for this farm. It just works so well for us. I wish there was a seeder like this in the base game, because it just suits so well to the smaller equipment. But this game really, in the base game at least, is 100 horsepower and up game, pretty much. With most of the equipment. There is some smaller stuff, but for the most part, this is a bigger tractor game, and that's kind of always how Farming Simulator has been. Even going back to like Farming Simulator 13, the tractors started at like 200 horsepower tractors, I think. No, I don't want the AI worker. Sorry about that. The seeder again. That was just a misinput. We're pretty much done this field here, and we can get to the next one. This is going to be really quick. We might even have time to do, I don't know, another contract today or something, but this is really quick. What an episode so far. I mean, paying off that debt, that amount we paid off is huge. So if we get one more big lump sum like that, then that's pretty much our goal accomplished. And then, oh boy, so the new DLC for Farming Simulator 25 is coming out on June 3rd, and that is like big open prairie oriented equipment. Versatile, which is a big Canadian equipment manufacturer, and that I'm thinking we could do a big plains style farm in Nadball, Manitoba, so that could be pretty cool. But anyways, I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee here, and then I'll get to doing the next field. Alright, we're done with these two fields. That was pretty quick, so I'm gonna see if there's anything else I can do for the rest of this day. Let's see here. Cultivating, bale wrapping, harvesting. Ooh, that's a big field and some John Deere equipment. Mowing. Plowing. You know, I'm gonna take this back to the farm and then I'll make a decision. So, I will see you at the end of that. Alright, we're back at the farm. I'm just gonna put this away, and I think I've decided that we're gonna do that cultivating one. Because cultivating is always just fun. So let that down there. And how big is the field to cultivate? It's pretty small, actually. Was there a small plowing one? No, that's probably too big to do with the plow that we have. Well, 2.3 acres. I'm gonna do that. Alright, where's the plow at? Alright, it's right there. Alright, we're heading to... $41. That's a bit of a hike, but we can do it. Alright, so back to the fast forwards. Alright, we're at the field here, so I'm gonna proceed to do... I'm not sure. You know, I'm not gonna do any of this in real time. I'm just gonna do it all fast forward, so I'll see you at the end of that. Alright. That's the contract on this field done, and it's pretty dark now, so I'm just gonna finish the episode up here and bring everything back to the farm in the morning. So, have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and come back next time. Bye-bye for now.